Hi guys, so just an update. I actually made the seed paneer before we go on to the recipe. I made the seed paneer with pumpkin seeds also because pumpkin seeds are much more readily available in the UK and they're much cheaper. And actually the result was good. I popped a little bit of turmeric and some spices in, as you can see. So you don't have to do that. So this is how it turned out. The recipe to follow will be using watermelon seeds, which was the recipe that I found online, which worked excellent too, but are much more expensive in the UK and harder to find. So I'd recommend giving it a try with pumpkin seeds and yeah, enjoy. I'm going to pop this into a curry. I'm going to make a curry sauce, pop it into there with perhaps some lentils and some other things. And of course, pumpkin seeds full of good stuff, really, really high in good fats, protein, fibre, and loads of different minerals and omega-3s. Enjoy the recipe. Hi, it's Lisa here from Soul to Soul Yoga. Today we're going to have a go at making seed paneer. So many of you know that paneer, the Indian made cheese, is usually made with dairy. However, if you're plant-based like me and you don't eat dairy, you can make paneer and you can make tofu out of different things. So this is the first time for me experimenting with one that I found online. And we're making it with actually watermelon seeds, which are called magaz in, this is from Indian shop. I'm not gonna lie, they're quite expensive. So you can also make, so if this works, you can also make it with pumpkin seeds and you can also make it with sunflower seeds, which I will try out too. But these are watermelon seeds. Here I have 2 cups. These have been soaked for 6 hours and we just place it in our blender with 4 cups of fresh water. So yeah, I've soaked them for 6 hours or obviously overnight and then strain them, rinse them, and add 4 cups of water. We're going to blend that up. It's going to be a little bit noisy until it becomes really fine. As you can see, it's now made of milk and it should all be really, really fine in there. So once you've whizzed it all up on your blender, you're going to take the milk and strain it. You can strain it straight into a pan. And so that this then strains all the fluid, the milk, which you can see is rich, white and creamy, into the pan and separates the little bits of seed from the top. So whatever's left over, this matter here, we can keep. You can put this, still very high protein. You can pop it onto your cereal. You could pop it into cakes, smoothies, or, you know, kind of just pop it in the compost, of course. But we're not keeping this bit. What we're keeping is the milk that is in the pan, which is really rich and creamy. You can actually just drink that milk and it's full of protein, full of richness, full of omega-3s, good healthy fats, because seeds are powerhouses, vitamins and minerals. But what we're going to do is we're going to make it in this instant into a type of paneer. Now what should happen, as I said, this is the first time for me, we're going to see and take it over to the heat. Heat it on a gentle heat and it should start separating into curds and whey. Let's have a look. So hopefully you can see that I've been heating the mixture. Why can't I get, there you go. And you can see that the mixture has curdled. It's a similar process to making paneer with dairy. Once it's separated, you're going to want to pour the fluid over a muslin bag or a nut bag, and then you want to keep the solids. So the solids are in the bag and you give it a good squeeze, get all the moisture out, as much moisture as you can, so that we've got a nice dry substance. And then we're done. More or less, now all we need to do is get the moisture out and press it. So simply, you're gonna keep it in the bag and squeeze it together. And then we can place something heavy onto the paneer mixture. So yeah, I'm just checking it's all in. You can see that's the meal. I'm going to press it down. We want it semi-thin, but it doesn't have to be perfect inside. And then you're going to place something on it and place a heavy object on it to press some more of the water out. You could use tofu press, of course, and then let's see what happens. So here's the final result, our seed paneer. As you can see, it's a block and it cuts quite nicely. A little bit crumbly like paneer. It doesn't taste like paneer. It doesn't taste terrible. It doesn't taste a huge amount. So you can use this in, I'm going to make a curry sauce and make like a kind of paneer tikka masala. You could pop it on skewers and marinate it, I guess. Anything where you would use paneer. I think this is very expensive, doing the watermelon seeds. I got the recipe online, I saw it and I just bought them, but they weren't the cheapest of seeds. So I'm going to have a go with pumpkin seeds, which are super cheap, because actually this is really high protein, probably even higher protein than tofu, which I also love. And I'm also going to have a go at making some tofu myself out of different beans and legumes over the next few weeks too. So watch this space.